All right, peace, peace, peace. Well, first and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall blessing your day. By His mercy, we're going to consume, we're alive in the Most High in your house shall body until we're naturally alive, man. And I want to talk about this real quick, man. We wanted to actually talk about this week. Um, because honestly, this was in I saw Black Phone 2 yesterday with my homie last night. And this was an element of they actually mentioned this in first Corinthians 15 and how um let's get this, because sin and death is the ultimate enemy, man. But they didn't say it in this context. But I was just thinking about this because I was rewatching. I was actually watching. I finished up watching the Sopranos, and we actually gonna talk about that a little later. Um, but just think about this in the resurrection. Honestly, how that even the resurrection goes back into the beginning. But let's get this in First Corinthians real quick, because let's grab to First Corinthians real quick. First Corinthians chapter 15, verse 26. It says, "And the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death." Where's that death got in the victory? Oh yeah, for First Corinthians, because this is the verse that was in the movie last night. I think that I forgot who quoted it. I think Ethan Hawke's character, the Grabber, he said quoted this, but it says, "Oh death, where's thy sting? Oh grave, where's thy victory?" So yeah, so that's just is what it is, honestly. So it says the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. So honestly, man, just thinking about the resurrection, man, because that's the really the goal, man. Honestly, to live forever with the Most High house shot the door with them in the kingdom, man, like in their kingdom. Honestly, everlasting life. But that even is going back even to the beginning, man. Also to the light in the darkness, man. Because you know what? Because you know what it is too. That's why with the gospel witness testimony that's so important. Because the word being in you, and it's pretty much when the word is in you, and the Most High house is in you, and you know the Most High house is light. So when the light is in you, you can't die, man. Like gonna live forever, and that goes back even to the beginning, man. Because Genesis chapter 1 verse 3, it says, "And Yahweh said, let there be light, and there was light, and Yahweh saw the light, and it was good, and divided the light from the darkness." So see that, and of course that's talking about good and evil, righteousness and wickedness, of course. But even within that, right, like because like over to overcome, sin and death, you had to have, like we said, the word in you, which is that you had the light, and we know the Most High house has that light. But that's why I'm talking about the Sopranos, right? Because when you die, right, shout out to brother sent me first one, right? Because when you die, right, pretty much, because technically that's why they say sleep is cousin of death. Because when you sleep, technically you're dead, but your brain, your thoughts is still moving. So that's just is what it is. But that's what uh that's the what you call 'em, that's the that's when but when you're dead, the brain is not, like, there's no thoughts. You're just you're dead, honestly. And that's just how it goes when you die. Like all thoughts are like just stop. Like um uh like not activated at all, man. Because I know pretty much, I'm pretty sure y'all brothers and sisters know, and I know somebody that I was actually in the coma, or actually technically, you know this guy, yeah, he's about to go. But anyway, um yeah, yeah, anyway, I'm sorry that got distracted, but that's just is what it is right there. So that's just when you die. But I was going back to the point. I was watching of course it's because it was a lot, especially at the time, but like really I was watching a video about it because I finished watching The Sopranos, man. That's why, like, the ending is actually brilliant, man, because that's why Tony got killed, man, because it went to Scream with the Black. Because I was watching a video about that, man, because honestly, man, too, that's how most death is going to be, man. It's not going to be like like they said in Sopranos. It's not going to be cinematic like that. Honestly, most deaths aren't going to be cinematic like that, or those last finishing speeches or stuff like that. A lot of it's just going to be naturally like fade to black, honestly. So just like, honestly, like, even, or a lot of deaths not even gonna be like that last speech like a David, like, had, like, because that, David's kind of death was kind of like, nice now, because he talking to Solomon and told him what he said. Then he died, and when you read First Kings. But Yeah, man. A lot of times that's not gonna happen, but honestly, that even goes to show you the resurrection, and it goes into light and the darkness, man. Because when you die, you're pretty much in darkness. Honestly, not it's because everything's black. You're just dead, like But when that light is in you, honestly, which is the word, you can overcome that. That's why the resurrection is, man. So that's just the thing, honestly, about that too. Yeah, man, that's like when like the words in you, even though like you can't die. That was when we saw that with Elisha, man. Like of course we seen it on the highest level with Yahweh Shai, but we saw it with Elisha. That was just a foreshadow of like when the words in you, you can't die, man. So and the light's in you, still can't die, honestly. So you could die natural, you die naturally, but still you going like resurrecting, that resurrection, man. So that's is what it is, man. I just want to get into that, how that resurrection even ties back to the beginning, because that's how we dealing with the same God, because it's telling you the end from the beginning, man. So, because that even the resurrection goes into light and darkness, man. Because technically, when you die, it's kind of dark, honestly. But when the light is in you, like you're not gonna die, and that's the resurrection, live forever, man. So. Yeah, man, and because I think about that because of watching The Sopranos and watching videos about the finale and things of that nature and cutting the black. That's what really happens, man. That's what really happens, man. So, and even in the show, the character Bobby Bacalieri, or he said you don't see it coming. That's what Ecclesiastes 8 and 8 goes into. No man knows that the day of their death, man, honestly. Certain times, even I was talking about this with my homie last night, because, certain times people, like, they can feel it, though. They can feel it. There's no when's going to happen, but, sometimes you can kind of, like, you're in, especially whatever state you're in, you don't know the exact time or where, how you're going to die. That's what the word's really saying, but you can feel it. So, yeah, man. So, hopefully, this is edifying, man. So, much love to y'all brothers and sisters, man. So, peace.